My name is Hank. Actually, my birth name is Henry, but I go by Hank. I live in Illinois. I have histiocytic sarcoma. I was diagnosed in 2019 in April. I started having symptoms in September. I was in Germany actually cycling. Uh, I was over there for a couple months, and I started to get these pains in my abdominal area, and I knew there was something wrong. And when I got back to the U.S., I immediately went to my local doctor, and he connected me with the local medical facility in Peoria. They have two hospitals in Peoria. And initially, I got misdiagnosed actually twice. The first one was I was told I had stage four colon cancer. And then the doctor actually told me by phone when I was sitting in my car as I was parked in my driveway because I was I, I was anxious to figure out or hoping I would know what I had. Uh, but he asked me to come in on Monday because they were waiting for some results from another independent facility lab. So so I went in on Monday and basically he said the good news is you don't have stage four colon cancer. We're not sure what it is. We think it's a disease, a rare blood disease called Chester's, but we really don't know for sure. So the doctor indicated that he wanted me, he gave me a referral to the Illinois Cancer Clinic. So I realized over these 3 or 4 days, especially with the initial misdiagnosis of the stage four colon cancer, that what I had was significant. And my life was about to change in a different way. And, I immediately within hours of being by myself a little bit, just to think about what might be happening to me, I began to actually, I got more of a calmness over me than anything, more of an acceptance. But I think what drove that was my faith. Uh, I'm 70 years old. Uh, I've had a lot of different life experiences that developed me, my character, my personality, and I've witnessed and been part of a lot of significant emotional events, uh, as we all have. And those events are going to change the focus of your life or the direction of your life. And really, this was going to be no different. So I immediately told myself that whatever this was, I was going to do the best I can to fight through it and do the best I can, hopefully to be cured, but realizing it could be a difficult process. Fortunately, when I went out to the Illinois Cancer Clinic, the doctor, really not having a clue of what this was, decided she was going to send me a referral to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. When I went to Rochester, Minnesota the following week, uh, they're the ones that properly diagnosed me with the help of, they actually sent my specimen out to several other labs to verify what their conclusion was, and which I really respected. And they're the ones that set the wheels in motion as far as my treatment. What I was told, it's a blood cancer that attacks the soft tissue. The interesting thing about it, there isn't any specific blood test that can determine where you are. The blood tests will pretty much monitor the medications or the chemos or whatever I'm going to be on. That's what they use the blood test for. But the only way they can really look at this thing is through a PET scan, CT scan, or an MRI. So, so being that this type of cancer was difficult to really take a look at, again, I had to immediately put my faith and trust in the doctors. I mean, I put my virtually put my life in their hands. And what I want people to know, I think, is regardless of what you're going through, developing some type of trust or rapport with your doctor is going to be very significant on how you go forward. So I don't look at me being a unique case at all, because regardless of the cancer or any cancer that I would have, I would approach it in the same fashion. I would develop that trust and hope in the doctors, trying to be positive and expecting a positive expectation, but knowing there's going to be some challenges as I go through the treatment plan. Well, adapting, when I think of that word adapting, I think, it's acceptance is still got to be a part of this whole thing. I mean, whether you're a person of faith or not, this is your new reality. This is going to be your new normal, even though you may not know what that means. So, and I'm saying that for people that maybe don't have faith, or that had faith, and all of a sudden they've got some critical illness, and now their faith is being challenged. So I'd like to address, those people too, and keep that in mind. But faith can kind of, that's where my hope, or that's where I put my life and care into His hands, because the reality is I am not going to live forever. None of us are. Things are going to happen in our life that are going to be a challenge, just like cancer or any other disease. So once you determine, again, there's two directions. You either accept it or you don't. If you don't accept it, it's going to be difficult as you navigate through the process. Because you're always going to second guess, always going to be frustrated. You're going to probably be introverted or revert back to being introverted, because you're not going to reach out and be there for other, or be a better role model for other people. I think that's where family comes in. I have a good family, good children, good brothers and sisters, and they were there for me right from the beginning. So that was a good thing. Some people are hesitant to try to be a part of this new normal for a person, and because it's a challenge to them. And be honest with you, I've known of some people that literally walked out of relationships because they didn't want to deal with it. So being with a family, and I'm not just including my own brothers and sisters, but my friendships that I've developed through the years, they're all part of this. They're just as important to me as what I'm going through, because they're going through an emotional situation as well. So being able to rely on my family, uh, is critical. It's a critical step to engage them, to influence them, and you have to remember, especially if there's younger people in your family, they're going to be watching on how you deal with this, because you are going to be challenged, and you need to kind of put your best foot forward. Try to be a positive role model and influence, regardless of what you're going through, because they may be going through things themselves in their later years, and they're going to reflect back on how you demonstrated your faith, your hope, and your trust in God, and your trust in your doctors, and that's going to help you get through it. It's important to have a relationship with your doctor, and being open and honest of what you're going through, especially emotionally. When you have a rare disease, I mean, you're kind of behind the eight ball. And to be honest with you, so is the medical facility. They're trying to figure it out just like you are. So they need your help. I mean, they need you to be a part of the process. And yeah, you're a guinea pig, and you may be asked to take certain things that they don't know what kind of side effect you're gonna have. But they're trying to make their best decisions based on what you're sharing with them, in order to help you get through this disease. You need to continue being positive and continue putting your trust in them. And they're going to do the best they can. They want to see you healed and better. And they're going to be very supportive of you from day one all the way through the process. Well, I've said it, I think, a couple of times, but my faith is where I draw most of it. But hope is a positive expectation that regardless of where you're at, you're hopeful that you're going to be able to find someone or somebody that's going to help you navigate through this. And in this case, I put my hope and trust in my doctors. And, I think that's significant as you're going through the journey. But the driver of everything is my faith in God. And because he's led me to these people. So those are all good things. So I'm very thankful and blessed to have them as part of my journey. They're like my own family as well as my own family. I mean, it's just an incredible opportunity to be a part of that whole relationship. And you do have to have a solid relationship with your doctor. I think my happy place right now on this journey is when I'm serving. The Bible teaches us that there's only two commandments: loving him and loving others. And to love others, you have to serve others. So the way I deal with this cancer is I take the focus off myself. So by taking the focus off myself and on others, it gives me satisfaction. It gives me joy and happiness that I can be there for someone else in spite of what I'm going through. And I don't tell people, even though a lot of people know uh, what I'm going through, but there's several people that don't really know. If there's a question from them or a difficult situation or circumstance that is kind of I can relate to what I'm going through, then I would bring it up in the discussion, just so know people that I really I really can empathize with where they are and what they're going through, and that's huge as you're going through this journey. I think the biggest lesson I learned about myself is I didn't appreciate my family as much and my friends, and I didn't appreciate people. I guess for a while there, I went through that time in my life where I thought it pretty much was all about me. But having this cancer has shown me that obviously it's not about me, it is about other people. And what I really learned, the quality that I really picked up was I've learned to be a better listener. It really is a lost art in this world. We have a tendency not really to listen to other people, to really listen, especially when they're opening their heart to you, when they're really struggling. You really find out a lot about a person, and hopefully, you can provide some sort of encouragement to them. You can provide hope. You can definitely let them know that you're there for them from that point forward, and that you'll never leave them, because none of us are alone. There's always someone out there that we can reach out to and be a part of their life. And people appreciate that, just validating that you validate who they are and what concerns or what things they're going through. That's huge in this world, and you need to keep building and fostering those type of relationships. Well, I've only been to one meeting so far, but I reached out. I continue to reach out to my doctor, and my Dr. Abikun at the Mayo Clinic. Uh, he gave me the name of the association, and I wanted to be a part of a. Well, I'm on several calls every week, but just general cancers, and then one's a sarcoma group. But I wanted something a little more specific to what I had, uh, just to be able to share and listen and learn from other people, because there's always opportunities to learn and grow. In spite of what I'm going through, I may be able to pick up a few tidbits. So being a part of this association is huge for me, and it's it's a blessing. It's a blessing for me in the sense that uh, I can be a part of something that's really bigger than myself. I can be a part of something that that the real benefit may not happen in this lifetime. The real benefit could happen in the next, with other people in their life. And sharing what we go through in life and our struggles can be huge to the generations after us. And any way we can get together as a group to share our hurts and pains and being transparent and open and our struggles and what we're going through, it can pay huge dividends as we go through any type of journey, whether we have cancer or just life struggles. You got to have hope. Hope is that positive expectation. And I know I've said it before, but hope is such a good thing. But but the first thing is you've got to be clear that you've been diagnosed properly. So if you have uncertainties or doubts of what's happening to you, maybe your doctor's report isn't exactly what you like it to be, you need to make some decisions as you're your own advocate. You need to make the right decisions. And you have two choices. You can either ask the doctor that you prefer to see another doctor, or you can be open and upfront with the doctor and maybe do a little training to talk to him about, like in my case, because I'm a baby boomer and we grew up in the age where there wasn't technology, where people actually had to talk with people. I would have a sit down with them and say, look, doc, here's the situation. You're not really communicating me on the level that I need. You're not giving me the assurances that I need. We need more of an emotional connection, because I don't want to make a difficult situation or decision based on emotions. I want you to be open, honest, and frank with me, but I need you to be emotionally connected to me as well. And, you know, and if we get to that point, it's a lot easier to trust the doctor when they're deciding on the next avenue of therapy, because you're going to be challenged going through therapies, whatever you're going through, and you may go through multiple therapies. Some will be good, some not so good. So keeping that rapport with the doctor, and that's a two-way. I mean, he needs to keep the rapport with you as well. So I think you need to set that expectation with him right from the get-go. That'll really help you on this journey as you go through the process. I think not because I have a rare cancer, but but I have an significant emotional event that has occurred to me. I think by sharing the story, you can impact so many people as long as you keep your heart open and let people know exactly what you're going through and how you overcame a lot of these hurdles, because they can help you in your own life. So you need to be a beacon of hope, and I think a lot of that hope starts when people can hear someone else that's going through a serious struggle or a difficult situation, and some of the tools they learned maybe from their own past experiences has really been able to help them, and then to be able to share that with other people can help influence other people. But you need to be honest with them and let them know, like I always do, my message isn't just a one time message. I'm here for people 24/7. If I connect with someone or they connect with me, it's not just a one time thing. I'm there for them for the duration. I'll be there as long as I can be there for them. They know they can always count on me. And I think that's huge, especially in this world with all the divisions. Building those relationships can have just a significant impact on anyone, regardless of what they're going through. I think outreach is huge. The positives about technology. There's plenty of resources available. There's plenty of groups that you can be a part of, like this particular group, the Histiocytic or Tosis group of the association. So you've got to be able to step out and and just be a part of something. Again, it's bigger than yourself, because you can't just put yourself in a box. And the more you can get yourself out there, the more you can raise awareness to let people know that there are people that care. There are people that have that are going through it. There's also people that have recovered. There's also, I don't want to forget the caregiver. In a lot of cases, I meet a lot of caregivers in a lot of these group meetings that they've lost their significant other, and but they're still a part of it because they were a part of it from the beginning. So there's so many valuable lessons to be learned in those relationships by the caregiver as well as the patient, and it can be such a huge impact on your life and your journey. When I go to the cancer clinic every Monday, I get blood work once a week, and when I was getting therapy, uh, chemotherapy and treatment, uh, I would reach out, take my bag and walk around. I'd reach out to other people. If I'm in a blood draw station, I reach out to those people. Uh, I start a dialogue or a conversation. And again, I will reach out to people, talking to my doctors, and then they'll continue to bring people to me. I also send out a daily little, well, I call it a blog. Technically, I don't have a blog, but I go through text and email, and I send out. I originally had 5 people that I met at Mayo Clinic and the cancer clinic in Peoria, and that's blossomed and grown into about 150 to 175 people every day. I reach out to just send them a word of hope and prayer and encouragement, and then they've reached out to other people, and they've reached out to other people, and then they connect with me. So continuing to create that awareness any way I can, uh, it gives me validation of where I am. And it gives me, I realize that life is such a blessing and it's such a gift. And I don't want to waste the gift uh, on myself. You need to be there for other people. I'm going to get emotional here. I promised myself that I wouldn't do it. I'm going to try to keep my composure. Just bear with me. But that's an easy question for me. His name was Luke. He was 16 years old. He had the same cancer. Luke only made it 7 months. Then I had Allie. She was 35. Uh, I connected with not only Luke and his mother, but Allie. Allie lost her fight and her battle in 2021. Then there was Lorraine. She's 51, the same cancer. She's in Phoenix. She lost her battle in New Year's Eve in 2022. And then there's Harrison Mosby. He lost his battle last year. Harrison was only in his 40s. He's a firefighter. And then there's Dawn. I have 4 people I reach out to every day. Dawn Marie is her name. She's in Oregon. Joanna's in North Carolina. And then I still have the 2 caregivers that lost their significant other, Lorraine and David. I lost, they lost their significant other. They're still part of my daily routine of reaching out to them every day. So I continue to reach out to them as well as other people, but they're my heroes. I mean, being able to talk to someone because of technology, not meeting them face to face, but knowing that they were opening their heart to you. I've had the gracious opportunity to speak at 2 funerals for 2 of these people I had never met in person. I was honored to speak about what they shared with me, and my relationship with them is so significant. I can't wait to get to heaven to give them that first hug. They're my heroes. I think that probably the most important takeaway for me, and I know people they're probably find this strange, but you know, I've lived a fruitful life. I've lived a good life. You know, I know that there was a purpose for my life, but I think I was clouded by my own problems and my own trials and the things I went through. But having this cancer has been a blessing. You know something? I've never asked, I've never prayed for a cure, and if one never happens, I'm okay with that. But I realize what's really valuable and important, and it truly is about loving relationships, not only in your family and your friends, but people that you meet. There's always opportunity to spread a good, positive word to people. And you could be a beacon of hope and the light, and you could light someone's day just by saying a few kind words. Well, again, hope is that, is a positive expectation. I think it starts from within, probably within your own heart. Uh, you've got to come to this point where, you got to be able to look at yourself in the mirror, and if you can seriously look at yourself and realize where you are, and because of the situation that you're the only one that can spiritually and emotionally get yourself out of it, in the sense that I think that's where it comes through acceptance. But that you can be your own positive influencer or cheerleader. But again, I think it's how you use what you've been dealt with. It's how you use it to direct the focus on other people, and hope. You can provide hope to other people. You can provide happiness and joy and all these things that the Bible teaches us about, but you can be a beacon of hope to other people. And that's what I want to continue doing. However long God's got me here, I'm going to continue to do the same things. I think the biggest challenge, and I haven't said it yet, I may have repeated myself on several things, but I think when you're dealing with a difficult circumstance, especially with a severe or a rare diagnosis like myself, and there are others, is don't give up. You're not alone, but you never know. You might be that patient. You might be that one, if you stay the course, where they're going to find the cure or a way to stabilize the cancer, and then give you more quality time to find a cure. So you never know what impact your makeup or your body, your DNA, all those things could influence that. And but it all starts with you. You've got to be willing to sacrifice yourself. You've got to, I guess the Bible says, surrender yourself. But you know, but if you put your trust and faith in your medical community, you could be the hope that they were looking for. You could be their hope. And that that think about the positive implications, not only to your life but to others, especially with some rare cancer, where they could eradicate it. That's huge and powerful, and you could be the person that did it. So don't give up on yourself.